Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and these are some great clips that Link2 keeps putting out. These are from some of the Joe and Doso Twitter spaces, and I wanted to show you this. He's making comments on Uphold and how it relates to the resolution of the Ripple case. I bought, in all full disclosure, I bought Uphold shares, I think last week, a good bit of them, because of what he's talking about here.
You know, a lot of you have seen the Uphold price on our platform come down, largely because there's been more selling than buying. I can't explain that other than to say that our customers are all free agents and they're free to do what they see best. And if there are more sellers than there are buyers, so be it. At Link2, we continue to be bullish about the company. You know, we think that it's a more cyclical stock than Ripple, because Ripple is an infrastructure company, whereas Uphold is largely still very much of a markets company, right? So its revenues and its earnings will be very, very dependent on where we are in the crypto market cycle. When things went down significantly as we went into crypto winter, the company suffered, but they are continuing to improve their technology, improve their customer count, and I have no doubt that when the market comes back, they will significantly benefit from that. We saw a glimmering of that on the day that the judgment was announced. If you guys are Uphold customers, you'll notice that their system crashed for a little bit the morning that the judgment was released, and that is because the trading volume of XRP on Uphold went up by 50x. They had not built their system ever anticipating that they would have a 50x.
That's a 50x XRP surge.
Increase in volume within a couple of hours. And that's exactly what happened that day. They're now going back. In the past, their contingency planning maxed out at a 10x increase within a day. They were absolutely unprepared for 50x. That's what happened that day. That, in my view, though, it's a crystal ball into what will happen in the future with XRP as the markets begin to recognize its value. It's also a crystal ball into what will happen with the value of Uphold and Uphold stock into the future. There will be more 50x day.
Oh yeah. I'm a huge bull on Uphold, and that's why I'm a shareholder in it. Also on the link, they've got Uphold on the Link2 platform. And then they've got a bunch of things, but they're also adding this Cerebras, which is an AI chip company. And if you remember, this is the Cerebras chip compared to their competitor. They had put this out a while ago. But this Cerebras is one of those that was fully subscribed, and they're going to be adding more of that on at 11 Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific time this morning, so you might want to check that out. This is a great tweet from Digital Perspectives to give you the lay of the land. He says, the stage is set for XRP price explosion. U.S. institutional sales are out. JP Morgan, all these, they can't get it, is basically what his chart shows here. Uphold and Coinbase, they can get it there. And then outside the U.S., until there's a post-settlement or legislation or FSOC regulation, retail exchanges are the only place U.S. institutions are allowed to buy XRP. That's the way I understand it too. Something hilarious happened on the Mr. Intuitive's Trumer's Twitter Spaces last night. He had Joey Swole on there. I actually popped in for a second, but then I had to go, and then so I didn't get to go on. But I hate it. I'll pop back in sometime soon. But anyway, this was a funny moment where a Bitcoin maxi came in and tried to do a little bit of grandstanding. And this is what I think of Mr. Intuitive thinking while he's listening to this guy, because that's kind of what my thought was. Listen to this. This is funny.
Now, and I say it with all due respect, but I'm a Bitcoin maxi, and I see how Bitcoin plus everything else that you guys have been talking about is that's the last missing piece. And I'm concerned that folks that are doing all the right things that were just discussed might still be putting themselves at risk by thinking that XRP is something worthwhile.
Unfortunately, on Troomers Only, I run the show. Sorry, Justin. Gee, Gats, what we got for Joey Swole?
What was that?
You got to
that
get
made
dropped,
me laugh.
Joey. No time for that. We got limited time.
Bitcoin maxis.
He turned the corner. He turned the corner really fast. That was
all right.
quick, though.
Mr. I does what he wants on Thursdays at 7:30. What's up, Gats?
That's the way you should run a freaking Twitter Spaces. Now, someone brought this clip. I had put this clip out back, when did I put it out? August 23rd of 2022. And now is as good a time of any to bring it back. And I will draw your attention to the asterisk here, off the record. This is from March 3rd of 2017 at Yale Law School. Jesse Chang, Deputy General Counsel of Ripple, who I think later went to the IMF, by the way. Then you got a guy here from the Clearinghouse and a guy from the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. Listen to what she says. And then ask yourself, does the digital asset investor's 11-year-old need to come out of retirement and draw me a picture?
So either Alpha Bank and Beta Bank had accounts with Sigma Bank, or you have a connector, a common account holder that has an account with Alpha Bank and with Beta Bank. But what if there were a way for Alpha Bank and Beta Bank to connect without even needing that? They could use, say, XRP. So this is the digital asset that's native to the Ripple consensus ledger. They could use that as a bridging tool. So in contrast to our previous examples, the hypos where it was fiat currency from end to end, each link along the way involved fiat currency. Here, banks like Alpha Bank and Beta Bank can use virtual currency to bridge that missing link just between them. And this tool could be especially useful for banks that are supporting emerging markets. So let's say we have Alpha Corp, now sitting in Brazil, wants to make a payment to Beta Corp, now sitting in Thailand for products that it purchased. So this means that Brazilian real are withdrawn from Alpha Corp's account with Alpha Bank, and Thai baht are deposited into Beta Corp's account with Beta Bank. But same question as before, how do Alpha Bank and Beta Bank bridge that link, that missing link between them? As a practical matter, it might be hard to find a common account holder that happens to have accounts in Brazil and in Thailand. But what if Alpha Bank happened to hold some XRP? And what if Beta Bank were willing to accept to receive some XRP? So their XRP balances are recorded on a distributed ledger. So this is virtual currency balances recorded on the Ripple consensus ledger. Those two banks, Alpha Bank and Beta Bank, could agree as a commercial matter that Beta Bank has received full payment from Alpha Bank in connection with the Alpha Corp to Beta Corp payment upon a transfer of a certain amount of XRP from Alpha Bank to Beta Bank. And in determining the exact amount of the XRP to be transferred, Alpha Bank and Beta Bank are implicitly agreeing to an exchange rate. So for example, Beta Bank would view this amount as the XRP it's willing to receive in exchange for that Thai baht payment that it's on paying to Beta Corp. And we have the same outcome here as in each of the hypos before, where we bridge that link between Alpha Bank and Beta Bank. But this time we don't rely on a single central party like Sigma Bank. We also don't have any account relationships involved.
One of the first examples John Deaton used of what was okay now after the ruling was payments. He used spend the bits as an example. I remember that. Now, I hate to be the one to say I told you so, but when all the cartoon monkeys and NFT BS was going on, I called it pets.com, and I knew it was pets.com, and it was pets.com. At best, the whole cartoon monkey thing was a prototype, a testing ground. Now we have this, the NFT of Jack Dorsey's first ever tweet, originally purchased for $2.9 million, is now worth less than $4 in today's market. Lessons learned, folks, lessons learned. Here's some of the Bitcoin maxis starting to figure it out.
There has been a ton of interest in the U.S. in Ripple, right? They haven't, and U.S.-based investors really haven't had the opportunity to buy it for years now.
Right, Coinbase immediately relisted it.
Relisted
like a couple hours after
Yeah.
that ruling came out.
And let's be honest, it's a top 10 token.
Right.
Right. If you're benchmarked to performance or you're trying to get exposure to the crypto space,
yeah.
right? Like you're almost, some folks are like.
So indexes maybe had to buy.
People had, yeah.
Second
absolutely.
it was relisted, maybe had to buy. Wow, that's interesting. Yeah.
And it's been like, I won't take credit for this since I heard it from somebody else, but that was, one of the main reasons to be bullish. Ripple before this decision was nobody in the U.S. has had an opportunity to buy it.
So just the second, if it were to become available, then bam.
Yeah, bam.
So was it like liquid? It
is liquid. It's one of the most liquid tokens on the planet.
So a bunch of liquidity just flowed back to the States as soon as that happened?
Ripple on the day, Ripple traded over $10 billion. Wow.
What was that, like last Thursday? Thursday? Yeah. Wow.
Like that is, that's like Bitcoin on a bad day.
Yeah.
That's
crazy.
That's a crazy, all token. Most people don't even know what it does.
Yeah, I don't think it does much. That's just my opinion.
But that's not the point.
No, but so.
They're starting to figure it out. Now you can see what's happening now, folks, because of the Ripple ruling. And mark it down, folks. They're using the Ripple ruling to try to pass legislation, but what I believe that it's largely about is protecting Ethereum. They know that Ethereum is like a wounded animal right now, and a lion, the lion being the SEC, the lion is watching it, folks. Make no mistake, Ethereum is a target, and if they don't get this legislation, you could see some real bad stuff go on for Ethereum. Now, I'm not saying they would, because I think a lot of the people that have protected Ethereum also control Gary Gensler, so they probably wouldn't, but it's still, he won't say whether Ethereum is a security or not. Introducing the Financial Innovation Technology for the 21st Century Act, this bill establishes a regulatory framework for digital assets, protects consumers, fosters innovation, and positions America as leader in finance and technology. My understanding is that this would give crypto to the CFTC, which would be the ultimate slapdown for Gary Gensler. The Ripple ruling highlighted the need for our legislation with the Financial Committee to bring clarity to digital asset regulation. And then here's Mike Flood with a pretty cool opening sentence.
I rise today because we are at a crossroads in banking, fintech, and finance. Blockchain is a revolutionary technology that is going to change the way Americans do business. The question today, the one that we have in front of us, is whether we would like America to lead that change or let somebody else take the reins. We are planning on marking up 2 bills next week in the Financial Services Committee. One on digital assets market structure, and the other on stablecoins.
All right. So anyway, they're playing the hurry up game now. But look what Anthony Welfare of Ripple has got on his little slideshow, not slideshow, but his cardboard, whatever here, his presentation. Seize the momentum for regulatory certainty, build on crypto industry insights, solve real problem with CBDCs. So my point in showing you this is, you know what's about to happen. Ripple's about to take this regulatory clarity they've got, and they're going to start think about all those financial institutions, all those people who said that they just couldn't touch this, and now they can. All right, it's game on. And in the meanwhile, over here is Laura Shin, and she is having the consensus lawyer on, Bill Hughes, and it's all about the Ripple judgment. But they never, ever, I haven't seen any legal analyst besides Jimmy Valley who wants to apply the Ripple ruling to Ethereum and the Ethereum ICO. Laura Shin doesn't seem to want to do it. Of course, she's the same person that wrote an entire book on Ethereum and did not cover ETHgate when she was well aware of it. Here, she has him on, but she wants to talk about the SEC versus Ripple and how it affects Ripple. But old Bill, and I asked him, I said, hey, Laura Shin, hey, Bill, why don't you guys do a show with Joseph Lubin and go, this is Jimmy Valley's application of the Howey test to Ethereum pre-sale following the summary judgment order in Securities and Exchange Commission versus Ripple Labs. Because this is actual law. It's not a Bill Hinman speech. And these guys, this is what they face. If we live in a country where all the laws are applied evenly, okay, you can't just get a free pass. That's not how it works. Legally, they have to answer this, but you don't have to take my word for it. This is James Seifert. He's a ETF research analyst for Bloomberg Intelligence. Listen to him.
So now we go to Ethereum. There were a slew of Ethereum futures ETFs filed in early June of this year, and the SEC forced everyone to withdraw them. They basically said, yeah, no way, not going to happen. I thought after Bitcoin futures were approved that Ethereum futures wouldn't be too far behind. There's enough liquidity there. But obviously the SEC and Gary are leaning towards calling this security. They might be fighting something in court. They're basically not letting anything go. And one of the main reasons some of these ETFs have the possibility of getting approved is because they already approved the futures ETF. So while I said I don't think we really need an active, we say active Congress, usually you say that like something like crazy needs to happen, but like you actually probably do need an active Congress or some serious decisions in a court case before an Ethereum ETF is approved, specifically a spot ETF. So time will tell, but I'd say it's probably pretty unlikely unless we get some serious clarity from these court cases or from Congress themselves. Because Gensler is not messing around. And I also said multiple times, the only thing he would name, I mean, if you've seen any of the stuff, he refused to say whether Ethereum was a security or a commodity. He refused to call it a commodity. Like, he's not messing around with Ethereum. With Bitcoin, he will flat out say it's a commodity, it is not a security. That's why this is a whole different calculus. Ethereum ETFs, if somebody filed one tomorrow, I would say the odds of it getting approved within the typical day clock would be near zero.
Interesting.
Less than 5% for certain.
How about an XRP ETF? An XRP ETF could get approved. Let's write that down. That's I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family. Why not an XRP ETF? Thanks for listening.